Hey, hi, it's Ruby. We're going to be doing the August wrap up today. I have been trying to film this all day, but there's been construction all day. We're going to power through, and if you hear them, just ignore them because I'm trying my best to. So, I read 16 books in the month of August. Let's go through some quick stats. I will try and pop up some graphics for you because I always have fun looking at the genres because I do read so many different genres. Like, obviously, I have my favorites in fantasy, romance, and romantasy, but I read so many genres. So, I read 16 books, 6,467 pages, and 4 hours and 47 minutes of audio. That was an audiobook exclusive, so I don't know how many pages, so that's all I put. Average star rating of 3.6, which is good. And honestly, it was good. It's just that I had a 1 star, my first 1 star of the year, and it brought it down. So, not too alarming because that 1 star was in there. I had 2 5 stars, 1 DNF. So, yeah, and then that 1 star that we'll talk about. But let's just get right into it. I'm going to try and go quickly since they're here. But let's start off with these two. So at the beginning of the month, I finished Swordcatcher and went right into the Ragpicker King. Swordcatcher, I didn't love. And I ended up giving it 2.5 stars. But then the Ragpicker King brought me back to the trilogy. I gave this 4.25 stars. I do want to say this is not a romantasy series. This is a trilogy. There's going to be a third and final book, which I'm super happy about. I can't wait to read that one. But it's not romantasy. Like, I felt like I saw a lot of people say it was romantasy in the beginning, and I think even Goodreads has the romantasy tag, especially this one, the first one, not romantasy at all. The second book, we do get more romance, but I still think it's just fantasy focused. A lot of political intrigue, political machinations. Like, it's more about the politics than anything else. In book 2, we start getting more magic and like different things that I was interested in. But yeah, don't go into it thinking that, they're going to be like spicy scenes or they're going to be together all the time, because they're not. There are 3 separate storylines by book 2. But initially in book 1, we start off with Connor and Kel. Connor is a crown prince of this kingdom, and Kel is his sword catcher, which is essentially like his body double because we got to protect the prince, right? So they literally find Kel when he's a little boy and train him to be his body double. And they grow up together. They really have a special bond, a special relationship. They truly care about each other. And yeah, we follow the politics of the world. In this, we get introduced to a third character, Lynn. And she has such a cool storyline. It's actually my favorite storyline, followed by Connor's and then lastly Kel's, just because I don't really know where Kel's is headed, but these two are my favorite characters. I love them so much, and I cannot wait for that third book. But like I said, only pick this up if you truly love just fantasy and a slow-paced fantasy, because it's slow-paced, especially in the first book, but I definitely think it's worth it. You just have to keep that in mind. After that, right in the beginning of the month, I think like by the 2nd of the month, I finished my book club's pick for July, which was Direbound by Sable Sorensen. I don't own a copy because I'm waiting to... First, I was waiting just to get the deluxe version, but now Fairy Loot announced that they're going to be doing an exclusive edition, and it is stunning, and I really want to get it. I think I have a good chance because I am a subscriber to get it. Subscribers get priority, and then whatever's left over goes to general access. But when it's this popular, you really need to be a subscriber. You're not going to get it. But I'm so excited because it is stunning. But this book was really cool. I do think there was a little bit of a lull in the middle of the pacing, but all in all, I enjoyed it. We follow our FMC, who in the beginning of the book, her little sister, her beloved little sister, who she's like a mother to, has been kidnapped. And our FMC thinks that it was the vampires because in this world, it's like a battle between the vampires and the humans. And she believes that it was the vampires, which fair. I would too immediately think the freaking snatched up my sister, because they explain to you literally at the beginning that the vampires kind of siphon off the children's like life energy, or I don't know what the hell they said, but it made sense. I was like, okay, cool. So she ends up thinking that if she enlists in the military, she'll be at the front, close to the vampires, and she'll be able to find her sister. So that's what she ends up doing. However, she ends up bonding with the direwolf, which is, it's literally in the synopsis. She ends up bonding with the direwolf, and that thrusts her into a whole thing. Like, she does not want this. She just wants to find her sister, but it doesn't matter because once you're bonded, you're bonded. And I love the bond with the direwolves. It's very much like Fourth Wing, where the dragons are bonded to the riders and they're very much like a team. They talk, they have their own personalities, they have their own opinions. That's what this is like, but with direwolves, which was pretty cool. And the romance, I really like how they did the romance. From the beginning, I knew how this was gonna end, how this romance was gonna end in book one. Like, I just knew it. I could feel it in my bones. And I was very satisfied to know that I was right. The romance in book two, I'm ready for it. I think it's gonna be what I've been waiting for. But yeah, I definitely will be picking up Direbound and Furybound when it comes out early next year. 4.5 stars. The next book I read after that was Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm on a mission to read all my Taylor Jenkins Reid books. She's been like a new author to me this year, and I have found that I really, really have enjoyed her books. None of them have been under 4 stars, which is amazing considering these books are not long. But you get this whole completed story and it's just like filled with so much in such a small book. But I picked this up because it's one of her most popular books. I feel like it's the most popular book following The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So I was really looking forward to it. I gave that one 5 stars. And I also wanted to read this because I think like in February, I read The Favorites by Lane Fargo and people kept saying, oh, it's like Daisy Jones and the Six. It's like Daisy Jones and the Six. And I kind of knew that they were talking about the interview aspect of this. And that was it. Not so much the storyline or anything. But they said that it had drama like this book and like Magnolia Park. So I was like, okay, I'm probably going to love this because I love the Magnolia Park series. I love The Favorites by Lane Fargo. Both of those are 5 stars for me. And so I picked this up and I did enjoy it, but I did not love it. I just feel like I wasn't as invested with these people's lives as I was with the people in The Favorites. But in this, we follow Daisy Jones and the band The Six. And we follow their mess, their lives as rock stars. There's love and drugs and sex and drama all in this book. And it's really cool because it's doing the flashback style of writing where you're getting the present and people are being interviewed. And they're giving you like what they think happened, and then you're seeing things how they actually happened in the past, which I love. I love that. But yeah, all in all, it was a fun time. I did enjoy the audiobook. That's how I read this. And I gave this 4 stars. I definitely recommend it. It's just not my favorite. It's not my favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid book. I like Carrie Soto Is Back and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo more than this one. And maybe even Malibu Rising. Damn. Okay, well, I still like it because, like I said, none of them have been under 4 stars. After that, I'm literally going in order this time because I want to see how freaking random I am with the books that I pick up. After that, I picked up Silver Elite by Danny Francis. A romantasy. I'm calling it a romantasy even though it's been marketed as a dystopian romance, and the people were rioting when this came out because it was called a dystopian romance, and it's very much not giving that. Like, they really messed up comparing it to the Hunger Games, but like I understand for marketing why they would do that because they always compare books to other books, right? The comping that they do is like not just for this book but for all books. However, it definitely did not give Hunger Games. The setting is what's dystopian in this. You do get told that the earth, the people went through some shit and now this is a result, but other than that we don't really touch up on that. Like, other than knowing that the setting is what it is, it's about the romance. At the end of the day, it's about the romance. It's about these two's relationship. And the way that it ends, the second book has potential to be more about the actual politics and all that. But this was romantasy. Like, it just was. And so yeah, that's all I'll say about that. But you know, there are psychic abilities, there are powers, which is why I'm considering a romantasy. I still give it 4 stars, but I think that I enjoyed it because I went into it thinking romantasy and not dystopian romance. So if you pick this up, have that mentality, that mindset. After that, I went into a fun summary read, Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. This is her latest release, and I had put it off because, well, for starters, I'm trying to read books before I purchase them just to make sure that I want to get them. And that's what I did with this one. I listened to the audio off of Libby, and then I purchased it off of someone from Pango, which is what I've been doing. I've been using that method, and I'm really happy because I end up with books that I actually like, that I actually want to reread instead of just buying them blindly and then unhauling them afterwards. But I bought so many books in the past that that's gonna happen until I weed them all out. But for now, this is working. This, I put it off because this is book 2, Following Not in Love. And I very much did not like Not in Love. And I did a whole TikTok video about like all her books and ranking them, and Not in Love was at the bottom. I just didn't like it. I didn't connect with those characters. I did not care about the storyline or their romance or them as people, period. Honestly, disliked everything about it. So I had bought that book, I unhauled it. The cover was gorgeous. I love the cover. And then the fact that they were in tech, I was like, those are all things that I will love. And unfortunately, they didn't work for me. So because I hated that book, it put me off of this one. But I had been hearing good things, and I had been hearing that the setting was really cool. And it is. The setting, they're in Italy in the summer for the first couple, Eli and Rue's wedding. And we get to see Eli and Rue again in this book. And because of this book, I actually like them a lot more now. I hated them in their book, but they were definitely better for me in this book. We follow Eli's little sister Maya and Eli's best friend Connor. He's not only his best friend, he's like his business partner, but there is a big age gap in here, which honestly, I don't care about age gaps. Like, they're whatever to me. Love who you love. If you're happy, you're happy. I'm not like, ooh, age gap, let me read it, or oh, age gap, gross. Like, I just don't care. But I really like this. I like their relationship. Honestly, it was just not too deep for me. This was just fun and summery and exactly what I wanted. So yeah, not a serious book at all. It's Ali Hazelwood. I liked it. What did I give this? I think I gave this 3.75 stars, and I stand by that. It was fun. After that, I picked up a bunch of books that I don't own, but like I said, I want to make it a priority to read most of the books through my library first and then decide if I like them enough to purchase them. So the first one of the bunch was Made for Each Other by Lynn Painter. Actually, this one I had an e-arc of it. And the first half of this book, I was so invested. I was like, this is so good. And I even ordered the Barnes exclusive edition because I was liking it that much. The banter was so fun. It was giving, you know that movie with Jennifer Lopez, Made in Manhattan? It was giving me those vibes. And I love that movie. She should be an actress, not a singer. But that's another story. Oh my god, did you see Luis, what's his name? Luis Guzman recently on Hot Ones? He totally shaded her. I thought that was hilarious. But anyway, I'm not like a J-Lo hater. Let me just say, I'm not a J-Lo hater, but I don't love her either. Anyway, tangent, get back to it, Ruby. What was I saying? Oh yeah, it gave me those vibes, but the story's not exactly that. However, she is a maid, and she ends up crashing at the client's apartment because she's just like tired, and her apartment has like an infestation. I don't know if they say if it's vermin or pests or what it is, but it's an infestation that they're taking care of. And so she's like, you know what? Let me just crash here for the night. He's out of town anyway. She wakes up the next day and his parents are there. Not only that, but his parents are like, oh, I forgot what her name is. Was it like Abby or something? Something like that. Whatever, it doesn't even matter. They're like, oh, you're so-and-so, you're our son's girlfriend. And she's like, what? It just so happens that this dude made up a girl with the same name as this girl. And she's like, yeah, just because she doesn't want to get arrested. And she ends up like leaving. But then of course he finds out and all hell breaks loose, and it's just so funny. Like, it's fun and funny. Like, I do recommend it. It's just that the end kind of lost me. I was like, okay, whatever. Like, the beginning was better, but it was honestly really fun. So I will give it to her. I do love Lynn Painter books. However, I am a lover of her YA catalog. I love so many of her YA books. I've rated so many of her YA books 5 stars. And her adult catalog is like hit or miss. Oh, then I picked up The Thrashers by Julie Soyo. This is a YA thriller, and I had heard nothing but good things about it, so I was like super excited to pick it up. I had the audiobook off of my library, and I started it, and like 85% in, I was loving this. Honestly, truly obsessed. I was like, damn, this is so good. Am I gonna have my first 5-star thriller? It didn't happen, friends, because that ending, I hated that ending. Like, what the hell? I did not like it. But it wasn't like so bad that I was like 1 star, like super mad like I was with the other book. I was just like, damn, that was underwhelming, man. She gave me so much, and then that was just a little underwhelming for me. But I can see why people have been saying that there might be a second one, because it does leave it open for us to get a second book. And if she does release a second one, I will be reading it, because this was really cool. We have a bunch of high schoolers, a little friend group of the It Kids, the It crowd. They even have their own name. They're called the Thrashers, hence the title of the book. And some girl dies. Some girl dies, and they are the prime suspects. And it was just really fun for most of the book. So yeah, I gave it from 5 stars. I went to 3.75, which fair, because I was just so underwhelmed with that ending. So I'm sticking with it. Then I picked up, then I was feeling like crap because it was that time of the month, and it was just not this was not it. This was one of those months that just like really just like, this is my face and this was my period. Like, it was so bad. So I just wanted to pick up like easy, light, you don't need to think type of books. The first one was The Honeymoon Crashers by Christina Lauren. This is that audiobook exclusive that I was telling you about. The reason I picked this up was because, one, I really like The Unhoneymooners, which is the book that this is like a little spin-off novella of. It was fun. I thought it was really cute and summery. And 2, Harry Shum Jr. narrates the guy's part, and I love him so much. So I was like, let me just listen to it. It was a quick like 4-hour audiobook, and it was okay. I gave it a gracious 3 stars. Gracious, but you know, it was just a little short story. Remember, in The Unhoneymooners, we get the girl's twin sister, Amy. She's getting married, and everybody ends up like getting food poisoning, which is why Olive and Ethan end up taking their honeymoon and then going to Hawaii and falling in love. Not a spoiler, like that's part of the synopsis. Yeah, we follow Amy again, because if you read that book, then you know what happened with her in the first book. We follow her again as she plans Olive and Ethan's wedding, and it was fun. It was fast-paced. It was definitely worth the 3 stars. It got me through some rough times. After that, I picked up The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore. I've been wanting these books so much. Every time I go to Costco, I see them. Now that Costco's brought the books back for the seasonal stuff, but they're so pretty, and there's so many of them. There's like 5 or something. There's a new one coming out. I own the Christmas Tree Farm physically, and then the one that strawberry something, I don't know what it's called. I own the ebook of that. But I want to love every single one of these books so that I can buy them, because they're so beautiful all the time. However, this was just okay. I gave it a gracious 2.5 stars. The romance was just so superficial. What you get the most is just like a cozy story. Very like cozy vibes. It's for the vibes. The book is for the vibes, and the vibes only, because the romance is so superficial. It's like there's nothing deep about it. I did like the comparisons to like Gilmore Girls. We know this author's pen name is Lori Gilmore because she's a fan of Gilmore Girls, and I see it. There's a little town and everybody's like in everybody's business. So it was very much for the vibes, but I'm not going to be picking it up. Like I said, 2.5 stars. Read it, listen to it if you have it like on the library or something, but I wouldn't run out to get it. Ooh, okay. Next up, I picked up Lady of Darkness. This took me the whole month to read only because I'm buddy reading this with Summer. She sent this to me from my Amazon wish list, and I was like, do you want to buddy read it? And she said yes. And now we're buddy reading the whole series. It's a completed 5-book series, and I'm super excited. I ordered the second book from Barnes, so it should be here soon. But yeah, we've been doing 12 chapters a week, and then on Sundays we do like a video chat, and it's been so fun. It's like our 2-man, 2-woman unofficial book club, but I really love it because I've always wanted to be a part of like an in-person book club, and it never happened. And that's why I started my Ruby and the Gems book club over on Fable, which if you haven't joined us, join us. It's completely free. We are reading Blood Over Bright Haven this month, and it's a lot of fun. I'm also giving away stuff, arcs, books, stationery. But yeah, we started this book, and I didn't know much about this book. Now I see that a lot of people have compared this to Throne of Glass, the like early days, Selena Sardothian, Throne of Glass, because our FMC of this book, she is an assassin, and it literally says owned by a ruthless assassin. Scarlett Monroe and her 2 sisters have been trained since they were children to torture and take life. And yeah, they're badasses. They're a little scary. Like everybody knows of them and everybody's scared of them with good reason because they are ruthless. But there are so many parallels to this book from Throne of Glass. I do think this was a solid start to the series, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I heard people say that book 2, like she's super whiny and annoying, but then book 3 is like everybody's favorite. So I'm excited to continue on with this. We have like a hidden identity sort of thing going on. We do have fae, we do have mates, we have all that stuff in this world. So I'm not going to talk too much about this book itself and the story because like I said, it is a 5-book series, but there's a bit of a mystery. She wants to avenge her mother's death is the main thing going on with this book, and she thinks she knows who did it, and so she's just out for blood, and that's really what is happening in this first initial book. But like I said, we have a whole series to get through. I'm excited. I ended up giving this one, I think, 3.5 stars. I thought it was a solid start, and I'm excited for book 2. After that, I filmed a reading vlog. I was just in the mood for a reading vlog. We just hung out. It was pretty chill, and I wanted to read the books that were on my August TBR, and I did just that. Also, I picked up my book club's pick for August, Arcana Academy by Elise Kova. I had not heard a single thing about this book when the book club chose it because they do everything. They do the options, they vote, they do everything. I'm just like there like moderating, like, hi, be my friend. But yeah, like I hadn't heard anything about this. So when I went into it, I was very surprised because it starts off with a bang. And we find out that our main girl, she is imprisoned at the beginning of the book because she did magic illegally. In this world, if you have magic, if you're able to use the Arcana tarot cards, you have to report to the kingdom that you can do this, and then you have to forcefully present yourself to do some trials. Like it's a whole thing. If you fail those trials, then you get sent to like labor camps essentially. It's intense, high stakes for sure. And our girl is not about that life. She's been hiding her magic this whole time. She's been practicing without reporting, and that is a no-no. So she gets sent, essentially, you know how Throne of Glass has Zendovier? That's where she gets sent. And so, yeah, she ends up breaking out right away, and our story takes off from there. We have a really cool magic system in this. Check out the reading vlog, but that was my favorite part. I talked about how I had heard people say and compare it to the Shepherd King duology, One Dark Window magic, just because it's cards, but in One Dark Window, all they do is like tap the card 3 times and they can use it. In this, the magic system is way more complex. Like they have to draw the cards themselves, and there are certain inks that you have to use to make certain cards. There's also a ton of cards, and not everybody can use all the cards. And the plot line was very much tied to the magic system, which I loved because I'm a plot driven girl. The romance, I liked. I really liked it. At the beginning, in the chapter chats of the book club, people were like, is this going to be a true enemies to lovers? Because the guy treats her like shit in the beginning. And then there are some lines, some bars that this man is dropping that reminded me of like Bridgerton. Like King George from the Queen Charlotte one, or like Anthony Bridgerton. Wow. Wow. So I definitely will be reading on to the next book whenever it comes out. I ended up giving this one 3.75 stars, a solid start to a new series. And then, like I said, I was reading my TBR. So next up, I picked up Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver hesitantly because I read the first book, Wild Love, and I didn't love it. I ended up giving it 3.75 stars, but that was gracious. That's like a 3-star read for me. It wasn't terrible, but I just didn't love anything about it. I didn't love the characters. I didn't love the love. I didn't love the whole single dad thing, the way they did that. I just didn't love anything of it. So yeah, the one thing that I did like was West, which was the FMC Rosie's brother. So we meet him in book 1, and he is the MMC of book 2. And let me tell you, from the minute that we start this book, I was in it. I was in it. West is just a golden retriever of a man. He's a single dad to 2 adorable children. And children are a no-go for me in books and in real life. I would like my own children, maybe, but yeah, I don't know. So children are hit or miss for me in books, and these children were so freaking cute. Damn, they were so adorable. I loved them. And they actually like made me like this book more. The children make me like this book more. So it was just so cute. Like, he's just such a good man, and the girl is a country music superstar who's just running away from everything to the small town in this Canadian little mountain town. I don't know. It was cute. It was sweet. It was spicy, just like her books are. But yeah, I'm so excited. I gave this 5 stars. And now I'm excited to continue on, which was like such a 180. I didn't even want to continue on. If it wasn't for the TBR jar, I wouldn't have picked that up. So I really love that the prompts help me discover books that I love. And then I followed up with Bingsu for 2, another TBR jar pick. I love this book. Look at it. It's so pretty. And it's like one of the most well-made books that I own. It's so heavy, and it's a paperback, but the paper's so thick and like luxurious. When I was reading it, because I read this physically, it was just so nice. It smells good. I know I'm not the only weirdo that smells their books. It smells good. Anyway, Bingsu for 2, a contemporary YA romance. I was excited for this because we have, the guy is like the main guy. Like, usually we read from the girl's POV. Even if we have dual POV, we are like, you know, focusing on the girl. But in this, the focus is on the guy. And it even says, meet River Langston Lee. In the past 24 hours, he's dumped his girlfriend. He did. She sucks. Walked out of his SATs and quit his job at his parents' cafe in spectacularly disastrous fashion, even for him. And that happens like all in like the first couple pages, first couple days. He just uproots his whole freaking life and ends up working at Bingsu for 2, which is a little small rival cafe that's like on the brink of going out of business. He ends up loving this job. He ends up loving the people that he works with. It's very much like found family. It was sweet. I loved all the characters. Honestly, it was just really sweet and like heartwarming. Honestly, I can't really complain about much. It is very YA though. So if you don't like YA, this is so YA. The issues are YA. Everything is YA, but I really liked it. I ended up giving this one 3.5 stars. It was a sweet book. And then we're ending this with the 1-star read. It was the very last book that I read. I wish I had just run out of time and not read it, but I did. It was The Housemaid's Wedding by Frida McFadden. A short little story. It was like 76 pages. So no harm, no foul, except yes. What a waste of my time. If you're curious, it is available on KU. So check it out. It's only 76 pages, but it was just so stupid. Like, it was so pointless. And the reason I picked it up was because I saw that it said you should read it between books 2 and 3. And I just need the third book. If I wasn't budding reading these with my brother, I would have probably just stopped at the first one and called it a day. But Frida is putting Millie through the ringer. Like, Frida hates Millie. Like, let her go. Let her be happy. But this book was stupid. She's getting married to Enzo. I don't think that's a spoiler, but if it was, you're welcome, because don't read it. Wow. Yeah. She's getting married and she's wearing a blue wedding dress because she doesn't want to wear white for reasons. And she just spends most of the book worried about if she's going to fit into her dress because she bought it so long ago. And that's really like what I took from this. I think the only important thing was at the very end. But even at that, like, we already knew that. This was just so pointless. It added nothing to the story. So yeah, I would just say to stick to the main books. Do not read this. It was just dumb. So 1 star. And yeah, those are the 16 books that I read in the month of August. Honestly, it was a pretty solid month. 16, pretty good. I haven't been pushing myself to read a lot. I've been watching a lot of TV, a lot of movies. I've started my Halloween movies the other day. Well, yesterday I watched Hocus Pocus and Hocus Pocus 2. I will be watching Halloween Town, of course, classic. But yeah, thanks so much for hanging out with me. As always, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know what your favorite book was. Not just for, not just for August. Let me know so far. What is it? 8 months into the year, going on 9. What has been your favorite book of the year? So that I can add it to my TBR, because I think I mentioned it somewhere. I don't know. That I want to end off the year strong with like amazing reads. So let me know. What's your favorite book of the year so far? Bye.